Hi everyone, I'm Martina Galli from POLI.design, and today I'll be moderating the Specializing Master in Service Design presentation. Please feel free to use the chat if you have any questions, and we will address all the questions in the second part of this session. And now, let me introduce the speakers, Beatrice Villari and Brian Sabin. I leave you the floor.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be with you today. So I'm Beatrice Villari and I'm the co-director of the Specializing Master in Service Design. The director is Professor Stefano Maffei, and here I am with Brian Sabin, didactic coordinator. So we will have the opportunity to share with you some information about the Specializing Master in Service Design.
Yes,
Okay, thanks.
Perfect.
So, what about designing services? I don't know if you are close to the discipline or if you know about service design already, but designing services is something related to the capacity designers have to deal with complexity, deal with processes, interactions that are characterizing complex systems. But what are services? I give you some examples. For example, think about the mobility services. Think about hospitals, think about tourism, think about banking and or insurance. So service designers are the practitioners who try to improve the quality of the user experience and the service system thanks to the design tools and the service design tools. Thanks to the master, you will learn on how to design better services thanks to a learning by doing approach. So what does it mean? We will experiment together how to design services thanks also to practical activities. Service design will be linked to real case studies, so participants will have the opportunity to better understand all the concepts, the processes and the tools related to service design and apply such knowledge into specific experiences working with real companies. So in this journey, throughout the journey, you will learn different. You will have different capacity and skills and competencies related to designing services. For sure, you will have the opportunity to acquire and improve design skills, although you are not designers or although you are not familiar with services and complex systems. You will have the possibility to improve or to acquire your basic skills about the discipline thanks to theoretical module, but again thanks to practical module. And the master is based on the idea that theory and practice need to be matched. So you will have lectures, lessons, but you will have also workshops, jams, activities that need a strong and interesting way of connecting people. So also exploring co-design session and participatory activities. For sure, the overall activity and the overall lectures and initiatives provided by the master will allow you to enhance your professional experience. So you will be able to practice service design inside public and private organizations, or to become entrepreneurs, or to collaborate also in the social area, such as non-NGOs and or public administrations. So some practical information, but Brian will give you more details. The master duration is 1 year, so 12 months. Is taught in English, so and the community of students is coming from all over the world. So you will have also the possibility to meet other culture and to meet people from all over the world. And in the end, you will have the qualification of first level specializing master in service design. If you are curious about the details on how and what service design can contribute to create a better society, we will have the possibility to explore it during the Q&A, all on top of the technical issues that you would like to explore later. I give the stage to Brian.
All right, thank you, and welcome also from my side. I will try to give you, let's say, practicalities and an overall idea of how the master is organized and structured along the journey that you will have here in POLI.design, Politecnico di Milano for the upcoming edition, which is the 13th edition of the Specializing Master in Service Design that will start, as you can see, in January 2026. As we've seen, the path of the master lasts 1 year, and it is, let's say, divided into two main parts. The first one is about classes, so the didactic activities that will give you the design learning and the multidisciplinarity about design thinking applied to service design and service innovation throughout the development of hard and soft skills in design. The commitment to the master is almost a full-time like commitment, so that means that you will have classes more or less all the working days of the week, sometimes 3 days, sometimes 4, it depends. And it depends on what? It depends on the modules, because every week we change the teacher, we change the topics, and we change the module. So it is, as you can see, a fast-paced learning environment, the one within the classes of the Master in Service Design, and it is designed to specialize the student passing throughout the lenses of the service design discipline and core and traditional discipline throughout its evolution on systems and design transitions. But before going into the details of the topics, I would like to add about the classes of the master, and we mentioned before some key aspects. The first one is the internationality. We are super happy and proud to be able every year to bring together many different profiles of students coming from all over the world. For example, this year we have 13 different nationalities, and it is an added value because it's about diversity, it's about internationality, and also it's about the diversity of the cultural and design backgrounds that comes together. And this is a unique possibility of growth that you will have within the master didactic path. The second key element is the composition of the faculty. We do try to combine every year for every master edition a mixed faculty of different profiles coming mostly from the academic field in Politecnico Milano, but not only. So we have academics in the master faculty, but we do also have practitioners, people that work outside the university and are able to bring in class their working day experience and real cases on which to work on in the class. Some of them are also freelancers. So this is the, let's say, composition in terms of profiles of the teachers that you will have in the master activities. And of course, not to say it's a unique possibility to enlarge your and start your career network. About the soft skills, I would underline, we have seen some images before of what happened usually inside the class. Classes are highly practical and interactive, and you will have always the chance to work in a team. and by working in team, by interacting with the teacher and behave like, let's say, a design agency, you will have the possibility to develop your not only the hard skills about service design and design in general, but also your soft skills. I will stop here. We are now in June 2026. You are close to finishing your academic activities within the master, and we are in the field experience. A few words about the field experience. As you can see, there are some slashes because you will have different chances to accomplish the field experience. Usually the most chosen one is the internship, which is a curricular internship that will have to be completed before January 2027, and you will have the possibility to work as intern in a service design company, agency, or in a public sector organization. The other possibilities that you have for the field experience are the professionalizing project, that is our way to call a thesis-like project on which you will work as an applied researcher. And the third option that you have is the Aiken activity, which is basically usually a job contract. So POLI.design gives you the possibility to sign a job contract while still being a student and to recognize the working hour to be translated, let's say, to accomplish the field experience. These three different paths can be undertaken by each student after June and before January 2027. We finish our journey in February 2027 with the final graduation day, on which you will be awarded with the first level specializing master degree that we have seen before. I will try to summarize the content of the master. It's a complex discipline and it is composed by many different elements, as you can see. Here are some clusters of theoretical and practical content that you will meet along your 6-month journey within the didactic activities of the master. And to summarize, you will face some service design basics and tools modules. So these are the roots of the discipline. These are the founding building block of what does it mean to do service design. Then you will have some lesson and classes about service business and management. To design a service or redesign an existing service most of the time means to redesign the business framework on which it's developed, and so we cannot speak service design language without being able to speak the business language. That's why you will have some modules on these topics. Human-centered innovation and participatory future, it's about let's say, one of the core founding aspects of design thinking as a discipline, which is to be human-centered and to be leverage and a tool to design and anticipate possible future, to select the one in which we would like to drive the society. Future studies, system thinking, and sustainable design, it's about the boundaries discipline on which service design is starting to prove its efficiency and starting to create new knowledge on the intersection with this discipline. And so you can see system thinking and systemic design, circular economy and sustainable design, and so on and so forth. To close the training modules, we have emerging technologies. When we talk about digital services, we are no longer talking about only UX design and interaction design, but also on the application of the new and emerging technologies. Think about the incredible revolution of generative AI that is undergoing right now, and designers are among the people that are designing the way to use the generative AI. And so you will have some laboratories and modules about the emerging technologies. Finally, the service design workshop, covering all the main phases of the service design end-to-end approach, starting from the user research, passing through the concept generation and development until the service prototyping. And these are specifically the modules that are in collaboration with companies and partners in general, so to bring in class real cases and let's say answering a real brief written by a client. So the professional outcomes, as you may have imagined so far, are clustered into some, let's say, categories. Of course, I'm not talking about job titles. The world of job titles is way more complex than this, and you will find service design capabilities in many different job opportunities. These are the categories on which we are aware of service designer mainly mostly working in. And I'm talking about design agencies. You can be a specialized consultant, a service designer or related job titles in a design agency, as well as a consultant or employee in a public sector organization, which is an interestingly growing market for the service designers and service design capabilities. A consultant or employee in a industry-specific and private sector organization. We mentioned in the beginning many different areas of interest like mobility and transportation, banking and finance, cultural heritage, entertainment, and so on and so forth. So everything that is not a design agency, a design consultancy, instead is an in-house design team, or you can be a freelancer or a self-employed professional. If you want to deep dive into these and many different aspects, we invite you to scan the QR code on screen and to download our report that we designed and issued a couple of years ago about the first 10 years of the Master in Service Design at POLI.design, Politecnico di Milano, in which you will find an interesting list of data, facts and figures about employment opportunities, careers, and so on and so forth of the alumni that attended the Master in Service Design here. Lastly, if you are interested into taking part and embark on this journey that will bring you to the new career in service design as a service designer, what you have to do is to apply to the master throughout the admission tab in the POLI.design website, in which you will find a list of documents that will allow you to complete your application both on the Politecnico di Milano portal and in the POLI.design specific area. I would like to underline that some of the documents will be reviewed by the master board, and they are the CV, the design portfolio, and the motivational letter. And I take the jump to the second part, which is the admission requirement, to talk about them. We have told you before that the profiles arriving at the master, participating in the master activities, are not always designer itself. Sometimes they studied design but didn't have the chance to practice, so they are coming after a Bachelor of Science or in design. Some other times are people who are already in employment which didn't study design, not even service design specifically, but somehow encountered service design and the design discipline as a general within their career, their early career, and would like, let's say, a career switch into the service design specific area. Well, for those people, we don't ask to prove your design capabilities. We are more willing to ask you the willingness and the motivations to enroll into the specializing master in service design. So for us, what is important is to evaluate your future potential along with the design skills in case you have, or your hard skills in general, depending on your background discipline. I will leave the floor to Martina again, concluding to say that if you would like to have a chat with us before doing the application, because you may have some specific question or issue, we are available, so you can book a call and meet again in future.
Thank you very much, Brian. Then there are two main steps to follow. The first one is the selection step, which must be completed no later than 60 days before the starting date of the course. And then the second one is the enrollment step, to be completed within 45 days. Please note that the applications are processed in chronological order and spots are limited, so don't wait for the last minute. Additionally, by uploading your documents, you will already be eligible to attend the next round of interviews scheduled for May 27th and May 28th. Then you can find the course fee listed on this slide, along with our promotional policy designed specifically for this program, an initiative to support the design potential of those who choose POLI.design. In particular, I'd like to highlight the partial exemptions of 25% until May 30. Now let's move on to the Q&A session, and I'll start by reading the questions you wrote us in the chat room. Okay, so let's start with the first one. The first question is, are there any specific skills that a candidate should have to be admitted?
We can try to give some answers. Let's say candidates need to be ready to challenge their capacity, for sure. They need to be interested in innovation, generally speaking, and they will ask to work in team, so they need to have the capacity to be collaborative and to also work on your soft skills, such as the capacity to create relationships, empathy, and to create a good environment to push forward the service challenges. For example, there are no particular experiences or capacity that you need to have, but you will learn also on how to deal with complexity. So you need to be curious, for sure.
Yeah, may I add something? Super quick, if I had to pick one skill, it will be proactivity, because we intend the didactic experience as a collective experience, and so any proactive initiative is always welcome to improve everyone learning path within the, let's say, within and beyond the classes at the Specializing Master in Service Design.
Okay, thank you very much. I have an interesting one. Could you explain the differences between service design and strategic design?
For sure. I start?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so service design is the discipline that deals with designing services. And service designers need to have the capacity to put in practice and to deliver solutions and services in the service sectors. So service designers need to work with the journeys, need to work with the systems, need to work with interactions, need to work with users, and need to translate the insights or the innovation inputs into a solution that can be experienced by users, or that can be helpful for organization to improve, to create value for the society. Okay, so service designers deal with service industries and design solutions that can be put in practices. So service designers also need to have strategic capacity in order to envision what kind of innovation they would like to brought and to put into practice, but they also need to have the capacity to envision futures, to deal with complex systems, to match micro dimensions, so very, very small details with macro and large transformations. So this is the difference, the main difference between a strategic, for example, design that have a wider scope in a certain way and not deal with the practical and complex solutions.
Okay, another one. If I have no design background at all, but a business background, is it possible to apply though?
Please.
I go? Yeah. Short answer, yes. Full answer is yes, and I think that business related backgrounds are among the one more in line with the content of the service design master and with service design discipline as a whole. If you had the chance to download the report that we presented you before, or you will have the chance by accessing throughout the web page, you will find out that business and management backgrounds are second only to design backgrounds in the, let's say, amount of profiles accessing the master.
Okay. And then another one, do students collaborate with companies or organizations during the program? If so, in what sectors?
I go and then you can add details. For sure, participants will have the opportunity to collaborate with different kind of organizations. They differs from industries. If you go on the website, you can easily find our partners from this edition and also related to the past editions. Service designers can collaborate with all kind of organizations. So industries are all the industry that you have in mind. Again, cultural activities, energy, cultural sector, tourism, banking, consultant, generally business consultancies, and so on. So fortunately, there's not a unique area or a unique industries in which service design are strong, but service design is pervasive. So what does it mean? That service design can be applied as a lever of innovation in all the industries that you can imagine. Because again, service design is multidisciplinary competencies, so we need to also have and learn from other disciplines, and we have to dialogue with other sectors, with the business, with the marketing, with the communication, with the social area, and so on. I hope I answered.
Okay, I have another one. What fields do you see service designers making the most impact in right now and in the near future?
Should I start?
Yes, please.
The industry or the fields? Sorry, I missed the...
The service design making the most impact in fields, yes,
Okay.
in the fields.
I think that right now there are changing some dynamics. So some weak signals are already under research, not only in our report, but in many publications, that service design no longer lives only within the design agencies. So we have more or less the half of the alumni of the master working in industry-specific fields and companies. One of the fastest growing sector right now is the public one. So I would say that I'm not only talking about Europe, but mainly right now it's the public sector, the one that is fast growing. And I see a lot of service designers right now creating communities. Initiatives, bottom-up communities that are emerging and are now able to create a network within the service design community that goes beyond the service design community. So I would say those one, along with the, let's say, more traditional ones.
Yeah, if I can add
Yes,
something?
of course.
I think it's a very interesting question because also in this case we have not an answer or one answer, but I think there are opportunities in the overlapping area between business, technology, and social. So if you think about artificial intelligence, for sure, the technology is disrupting some processes and how we deal with services, how we deal with interactions that have an impact on the business and on the social side. So I think again that we have a unique possibility to create value for the society or for the businesses, but we for sure can have an impact in the businesses that are need to change, that are need to innovate their processes. We have an impact on the social area because there's a huge interest in the planetary issues, sustainability, and social crises, and so on. And we need to deal with new technologies, in which for sure AI is one example.
Okay, thank you very much for your answers and for the presentation, of course. We are done, I think. And thanks all to you that are following us from home. And stay tuned for the next presentation, of course. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.